Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're stripping away all that confusing, intimidating crypto jargon to look at something that's honestly incredibly powerful. We're going to explore how blockchain technology can actually solve some of the most persistent, systemic infrastructure challenges we face here in South Africa. Now, I know we hear a lot of noise about digital currencies, but let's just set all that aside for a moment. We aren't here to talk about market speculation or the latest coin. We're here to talk about a fundamentally new way of running a society. We are talking about democratizing trust and democratizing the truth.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. The absolute best way to understand blockchain without getting a massive technical headache is to ground it in something we already know. Think of it like a massive digital Stokvel. Imagine a huge communal notebook where a group of people keep track of their money and their contributions. But here is the real magic of it. Instead of just one person holding the physical book, where everyone else just kind of has to blindly trust that this person is being honest, in this digital Stokvel, everyone in the room has an identical copy of that notebook. And whenever a new entry is made, everybody's notebook updates instantly, all at the exact same time. You know, in South Africa, our trust in centralized institutions, like state-owned enterprises, municipalities, or even big banks, can sometimes wear a little thin. This digital Stokvel approach is brilliantly designed to build absolutely bulletproof trust, entirely without needing a middleman.
Section 1. Surviving System Crashes and the Power of Decentralization.
So what does decentralization actually mean for us on an everyday basis? Especially when the centralized systems we rely on end up, well, failing us. Think about our traditional centralized systems. We've all been there, a trip to Home Affairs or trying to log into a major bank. They operate with a single server point of failure. If their main server goes down, maybe due to a cyber attack or simply because of severe load shedding, the whole system just crashes. You absolutely know the feeling. Sorry, the system is offline. You can't get your ID, you can't process a payment. It's so frustrating. Now, contrast that with the decentralized blockchain. Here, the data doesn't live in one cold server room. It lives on thousands of computers, which we call nodes, simultaneously. Because this ledger is spread out globally and locally, there is literally no single point of failure. If one server goes dark because the power tripped, the network simply doesn't care. It stays online, uninterrupted, and fully functional.
Moving on to Section 2, the anti-corruption weapon, tamper-resistant ledgers.
Now, you might be wondering, if the network is spread out everywhere all at once, how on earth is the data actually kept safe? Well, this elegantly solves the problem of retroactive data tampering. Follow these steps with me here. Step 1. Data is entered into a block. Step 2. That block is cryptographically locked to the previous block, which forms a chain. Step 3. It becomes mathematically near impossible to alter without changing everything across the entire network. Think about it. To cheat the system, let's say someone wants to retroactively alter a municipal asset registry to hide stolen funds, or maybe double invoice a massive government contract. A hacker wouldn't just have to change one file on one computer. No way! They would have to break the cryptographic lock, alter every single block that came after it, and they would have to do all of this across more than half of all the thousands of computers in the network at the exact same time. It is essentially mathematically impossible. It locks in accountability.
Section 3. Auditing public funds, where security meets transparency. This level of uncompromising security naturally leads us to a really critical topic. Where did the NFS student bursary funds go? Or where did the KZN flood relief funds go? I mean, we've all asked these exact frustrating questions while watching the news, right? There is a massive, high-stakes, real-world need for strict, undeniable accountability when it comes to public disaster relief and education funds. When money is allocated to help citizens, we need absolute 100% certainty that the money reaches those citizens.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how we could solve that transparency problem. Imagine an open ledger tracking funds moving securely in real time from wallet A, our sender, to wallet B, the receiver. Imagine if state funds were tracked on a public blockchain just like this. Every single citizen could, in theory, log on and audit the exact movement of those funds. You could verify for yourself that a government grant actually reached the intended supplier or that designated school, rather than getting lost somewhere in the middle. But notice the real brilliance of the system here. While the history and the amounts are completely transparent to the public, the real-world identities of the everyday citizens using the system remain completely protected by private cryptographic keys. It's the best of both worlds. You achieve the ultimate public audit of state funds, all while maintaining personal privacy.
Section 4. Real-world applications beyond crypto.
Now, this technology is an incredible tool for government oversight, for sure, but it also permeates into massive sectors of our daily economy. The crucial takeaway here is that blockchain is an underlying infrastructure that can secure almost anything of value. Take property and title deeds, for instance. South Africa's housing sector, especially regarding township land claims, is notoriously plagued by lost paperwork, fire damage to archives, and long-standing legal disputes. A decentralized ledger provides indisputable permanent proof of ownership. Nobody can misplace or secretly alter a blockchain title deed. Next up, think about supply chain and agriculture. Imagine tracking our famous exports like citrus from Citrusdal or fine wine from the Cape, from the actual farm all the way to a supermarket shelf in Europe. The blockchain proves its exact origin, its authenticity, and guarantees that fair trade standards were met every step of the way. And finally, financial inclusion. Think of the regional workers, sending money home to neighboring SADC countries. Right now, those exorbitant traditional bank fees eat up huge percentages of their hard-earned cash. Blockchain enables vastly cheaper, faster cross-border remittances. It empowers everyday people to actually keep the money they've worked so hard to earn.
And finally, Section 5, Verifying the Truth, a Fundamental Paradigm Shift.
When you really look at all those applications, you start to realize we are dealing with something so much bigger than just a trendy app or a new digital coin. Consider this powerful shift. From who do we trust to how do we mathematically verify the truth? Blockchain isn't just a tech buzzword. It is a fundamental infrastructure shift in how we actually record reality. In a society that relies heavily on trusting individuals in power, and let's be honest, often suffers when that trust is broken, the ability to verify facts through cold, hard mathematics is revolutionary. We no longer have to rely solely on blind faith in centralized authorities. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. If we could mathematically lock in accountability, prevent tampering, and guarantee total transparency across every level of our society, how quickly could we transform the entire future of South Africa?